Polanski, so I didn't have any choice, but give my thoughts basically on the First World War, which is pretty much why we do commemorate Anzac Day, and what that actually means to me. Firstly, give you a bit of a background information on myself. I spent my early childhood years in Montmorency, which is obviously near here. Moved around Victoria a bit until the age of 17, when in 1985 I decided that if I was to keep moving around I may as well get paid for it, so I joined the army. I direct enlisted into the Australian Army Catering Corps and was a chef, pretty much a chef for 30 years. Some people might say that the chef job in the army is a pretty easy job and pretty safe, but I'd just like you to think of the family of Andrew Jones today, who's a local lad from here, was one of the 41 people that was killed in Afghanistan. He was actually one of my trainees, and we went to his funeral a while ago, and it's not a very good thing at all. I was posted to various locations and especially loved my time with infantry units because as a cook they left you alone. If you looked after them and fed them well, got up in the middle of the night when they came in, whatever, they left you alone. It was good. Also, did some time as a recruit instructor at 1RTB at Kapuka, which was, I must say, very rewarding because you could pretty much get a raw product in, civilian kids, long-haired kids that were like rabbits in a spotlight, and after the end of 12 weeks, you marched out as soldiers into the Australian Army, so that was an extremely rewarding job. Deployed to East Timor in 2000, Solomon Islands in 2003, and Afghanistan in 2012. I spent 8 months over there. Have had other pretty good trips to places like PNG or Papua New Guinea, Malaysia, Thailand and Singapore. I must say, however, the early inspiration for me to join the army was my relatives, or the service of my relatives in World War I. I had Rolly Tuzel on mum's side, served in the 14th Battalion, which was Jacka's mob, and then on to the 46th Battalion. He was killed in action in France in 1917. Jack Frizzell served in the 23rd Battalion. He was listed as missing in action during the Battle of Pozieres in 1916 and was later listed as killed in action. And Clary Jarvis, who was also in the 22nd Battalion. I actually had the pleasure of, when I was a young kid, actually being able to speak to Uncle Clary and listen to his stories of what it was like in the trenches in World War I. Also Esmond Jarvis, his brother, 5th Pioneer Battalion, and Alf Willison, who's on Dad's side of the family. He was a lieutenant in the 46th Battalion. And he returned to Australia actually in 1919, one of the lucky ones. What I would like, though, to talk about today isn't about some of the bloody and horrific battles on the Western Front in France and Belgium, such as Fromelles, Pozieres, Bullecourt or Passchendaele, but on an individual. And Dad, seeing you put me in to do this job, I'm going to put you in now and talk about your uncle, Alf Willison. By all means, though, I'm quite honoured to do this job today, so please don't get me wrong there. Lieutenant Alfred Willison, my father's uncle, so my great uncle, of the 46th Battalion. I wanted to talk about an individual today because it's individuals like Uncle Alf who came together and acted and fought as one body to make the first AIF one of the most formidable fighting organisations of the First World War. Australians were revered in France and Belgium, and it was individuals that actually came together and fought as one and made Australia pretty much what it is today. These are the men who were involved in the aforementioned battles, and it's these men and what they endured during their service and when they returned home who we should never let slip from the country's collective memory. No matter who we are, we should never forget these individuals that made up all of these battles that we talk about. Right, I've got a little bit of a background on Alf, Uncle Alf as we know him. Lieutenant Alfred Benjamin Reginald Edward Willison. I think his father was a bit of a prankster. He named his kids, gave them big long names and gave them nicknames. So Uncle Alf's nickname was Brew. Alf, as he was known all of his life, grew up in the Melbourne suburb of East Brunswick. He was a safe maker and member of the Citizens Military Forces before enlisting in the AIF on January 11th, 1915 with the 6th Battalion. Lieutenant Willison left Melbourne on April 17th, 1915 with the rank of temporary sergeant. After landing in Egypt, Lieutenant Willison became ill with influenza and was taken to hospital. After recovering, he was sent back to the 6th Battalion in readiness to join his unit's reinforcements for the Gallipoli campaign. However, this was not to be, and Lieutenant Willison was taken seriously ill with complications from the previous bout of influenza. I don't know, I'd say a lot of you would remember or know of the history at that time. The influenza that went through the world at that time killed millions of people, so I suppose Alf was one of the lucky ones. Due to his second illness, he was sent home to Australia on the 21st of January 1916 for convalescence, and during his time of convalescence decided to apply for a position at the Royal Military College at Dundrum as his medical condition had improved. He was accepted in March 1916, and after completing his training was promoted to second lieutenant and allocated to the 9th reinforcements of the 46th Battalion. Once again departed Melbourne in May 1917, and from this point he spent a further 3 months in England at training camps, and on November 13th, 1917 was listed as in the field with the 46th. From this point on, Lieutenant Willison saw service with the battalion in Flanders and during Operation Michael. Operation Michael was one of the Germans' last push in 1918, around March 1918, their last push to try and win the war, which was greatly thwarted by the Australian forces that were there. He also received the Military Cross for his involvement in the July 7th and 8th 1918 attack by the 46th Battalion at Sally Lorette, and once again received the bar to the Military Cross in the battalion's last engagement in 1918. He was again ill and in hospital during the Great August 8th advance of the Allies in 1918, but was fit enough to take part in the battalion's assault on the Hindenburg outpost line in September 18th, 1918. Now the Hindenburg line was in April 1917, April 10th, 1917, the Australians tried to breach the Hindenburg line but lost heavily. They used tanks for the first time, lost heavily. They must have learnt their lessons, because in 1918, when they attempted again, they took it and they took mass prisoners. After the war ended, Alf was wounded on September the 19th but remained at his place of duty. After the war ended, Lieutenant Willison remained in France, because there was only so much shipping that could get people home, until October 1919. Now, just on Alf, it said before that he got the Military Cross. I've just got a copy of his dispatch here that was for the award of the Military Cross. And it follows: His Majesty the King has been graciously pleased to approve the above award of the undermentioned officer in recognition of his gallantry and devotion to duty in the field. Your conspicuous gallantry and attack on enemy positions, he led his platoon with great ability and determination and carried 2 objectives. On taking the final objective, reorganised his platoon in such a manner as to strengthen the whole company front. This organisation, under most trying conditions, was excellent, and his brilliant leadership enabled his platoon to capture and consolidate the objectives with very slight losses. So that was on the 7th and 8th of July. And he was awarded the Military Cross for that action. Lieutenant Wilson obviously wasn't done yet, for in September we have another citation, this time for a bar to the Military Cross. So that means that once you've been ordered or awarded the Military Cross, if you get it again, you've got a bar to that medal. This time for great gallantry and leadership during operations west of Ballinglees on the 18th of September 1918. During the advance, he was in company of a party protecting the left flank of the battalion, and it was owing to his fine work that touch was maintained throughout the advance. During the night attack, he led a platoon forward against a very strongly held position, and his brilliant leadership got his men across the dense wire, captured the position, taking many prisoners. He then collected his men, dashed forward to the second trench, and after severe fighting, captured that position. His company commander being wounded, Lieutenant Wilson then took command of the position and consolidated under heavy fire. It was here that he was wounded, and he remained at his position. His behaviour throughout the operation was very encouraging to all. Now that's just one man, that's just one story. However, he's one of the many thousands of individual Australian men and women who would make up the first AOF. As I said at the start, individuals straight from civilian street, enlisted into the first AOF, and in a short space of time became that excellent fighting force that would be the first AOF. Men and women from all walks of life descended from the first fleet of British soldiers, convicts, European settlers, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. Such men also as the AOF's Gallipoli sniper, a guy called Billy Singh, was apparently accredited with over 300 kills, which is absolutely amazing for that time. Now, Billy Singh was from Queensland. His father was Chinese, his mother was an English woman. Back in those days, there must have been a fair bit of struggle for that family. All of these people, though, would be considered equal under the colours and guidons of the AOF. It didn't matter where you came from, who you were, if you were in that organisation, you were considered one. If ever we could learn something from this conflict, apart from the fact that war should be an absolute last option and that hate simply breeds more hate, is the fact that these people were indeed individuals who came together to make one entity with thousands of individual stories like Uncle Alf's, working for a common goal, and showed the world just how great a country Australia was during that time in history, and is now if we just realise it. Thank you for putting up with me today and listening to my uncle's story, or my great uncle's story. But like I said, I think one man, thousands of stories, or there's thousands of men, thousands of stories came together to make that one entity. And I thank you for your time.